I don't know sir where you come from. Dokoro, just near here. Elder comes from Chirika. You come from Mitiana. When we come from all those walks of life and we meet here, by the grace of God, there is something you must borrow from him. Meaning learn. Something you must learn from him. It is so outdated and archaic for you to begin criticizing a particular tribe, certain tribe, like Uganda used to do some years in the past. Outdated. It is archaic. It is a thing we should abandon. We who have come to university and we who are Christians, who have come in the presence of God. Those are things we should adopt. We should drop. Drop. It will not take us anywhere. Can we define the word brand or branding? Who can try? As you prepare to try, we have not come to compete. Never worry to give the best answer. No, we have come in the best place at university. We have come to learn. The best place to fail from is the school. Why? It is there that you can be corrected. The best place to die from is the hospital because it has a mortuary. So when we come here and you say, let us contribute, what did I say? The 21st century is not one of spectators. The 21st century is one of participants. In this life before you die, you must act a movie. There is a movie you must act. There is something you must do that will compel people to come to look for you. Today you are needed. Tomorrow you'll be needed. Am I speaking to people with feelings? You have not heard some statements. Thought you would respond. Today you are needed. Tomorrow you'll be needed. You take it in the name of God. I mean it seriously. It is not a title that when you come from a financially poor background, that will be your permanent. No, it isn't. Actually, it is the best place. For you, when you die poor, then we shall blame you. Being brought up by parents who are poor, it's not a thing we must keep talking about. It's not a title. It is something we have come to fight. Some of you must be self-made. You may not have come from a home of a chairperson or C5 or honorable minister, honorable member of parliament. That's not important. And it may not be in the course of the short time. Jesse, the father of David, went to the palace to be what? Who can tell me? Jesse, the father of David, one time went to the palace. Not so? Yes? If there were vehicles being driven in Porsche cars to go to the palace, why? What takes him there? His son, whom sometime people looked at as a young shepherd. While people looked at David as a young shepherd, the Lord looked at the mighty king of Israel. Will you say amen? You're being small today financially, may I say academically, or what, is not an issue. No, you must struggle to sit somewhere on a high table over which you have power, and then those you said poor parents or parents in the village will come because of you being there. It is something we must struggle, strive to attain. You can define the word branding. Branding. Someone try. I've already defined the 21st century. It is one of participants, not spectators. So please participate. It is not even wrong, even when you're on camera, you can leave a little bit and define and go back. And yes, sir. So you stand and mention your name, sir. Now you tell us your name. Why do we stand? Because there are people bigger than you in status. So by virtue of giving them respect, we do that.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Jason. And according to me, branding is giving a distinctive design to a certain product as a way of promoting it. If I can say, I will give as an example, like Coca-Cola. Crown Beverages looked at it and said for it to promote its product, let it give it a brand of that sign of Coca-Cola, the word, how it looks like. So according to me, that's what I think. Giving a distinctive design to a certain product as a way of promoting it.
Thank you, Jason. I think I know you. Yes. Yes. Do I know you? Do you know me, Jason?
Yes, I know you.
I know you because you're giving the right answer. You know, success has many fathers, but failure is an orphan. I know Jason. Yes. We met somewhere. Thank you so much. Thank you. The girls are smiling after you giving some big words. Distinctive. When you say distinctive, some girl turned and looked at you and smiled. She gave a nonchalant smile. Yes. Thank you, Jason. Giving a name, let's make it brief and clear. Giving a name to a commodity for reasons including but not limited to marketing it or getting it ready for sale, branding. How about packaging? Packaging. Who can try? The 21st century is one of trying. I am speaking to people at the university, that's why we keep exchanging. I am not a monopoly of knowledge. No. That's why I'm blessed to come here to also learn from you. Packaging, can we say the wrapping of a commodity into a particular container? A particular container for reasons including but not limited to protecting it from easily getting damaged, okay, or affected by weather conditions. That's simply what? Packaging. We have defined the branding as giving a name or a title or a design to a commodity. And then we are looking at packaging. We want to welcome the elders and the pastor for being with us, coming to worship with us. We have defined the packaging. We have defined the branding. Are we together? Yes? But this we are looking at commodities. Are human beings also branded? Are we in any way branded? We are given names by our parents or elders. Yes? Some people, even at baptism, I said some people, this container has not come here for me to baptize anyone. No. By the grace of God, for us, we are immersed. And we cannot be immersed here. We are bigger than this container. So don't worry. There will not be any baptism of this kind of fake style. We have simply come to define two things, and then we shall rotate around there. Because when we began, we said our title is simply The Yesterday Experience. The Yesterday Experience. And before that, we are looking at packaging and branding. We have said packaging is the wrapping of a commodity in a particular container or cover. Sometimes for reasons of keeping it from easily getting damaged or protecting it from unfriendly weather conditions, rain, water, liquid, sunshine, etc. Branding, we said, is the giving of a name or a title to a commodity to distinguish it from others or to promote it or to market the commodity. Sometimes some names are given, beautiful names, so that a commodity can easily sell. I have some small commodities here, but just save me. I don't want to take back any of them. This stuff here is given a brandy glucose biscuit. I don't know whether in the process of manufacturing, making it, they put some glucose. They may have. But why given the name glucose? Is glucose having the biggest percentage of ingredients? I don't think so. If you look at the ingredients which they used, glucose has a small percent, very small. There are others which have a bigger percentage. But why glucose? Because in your scattered biology, we are told that glucose is so much important for our health, not so? So they give this brand, this title, so that this commodity can easily sell. We want glucose. Our bodies want them. Sometimes when we are tired and exhausted after sports, they give some powder glucose for us to leak, such that we can regain. But this, the maker of this commodity named it, titled it, branded it glucose. Fortunately, he is the same maker of another commodity. And he put a heavy man here and wrote max. Simply max. Maybe it will give you maximum energy, maximum effort. Energy in science is the ability to do. Simply, I don't know whether the definition changed. Today things change. We used to say the importance of trees. They act as windbreakers. Of recently, he said no. They don't hold wind and break it. They say they act as wind breaks. And he gave a reason. I said, what were our teachers telling us? And moreover, the same teachers would mark it at your name. Today they say that was wrong. My teacher was not good enough when she was teaching us the national anthem. I don't know why some word was wrongly sung. We lay a future in thy car. I said, in thy car. But when I grew up to some level, I said, in thy car. They wanted to sing in thy hand. And not hands. Hand in this case meaning authority, not the physical thing. Meaning power, authority. Why did we sing in Daika? Did she also sing in Daika? The maker also. The same company makes this one and aware that you people want milk because it provides proteins and I think fats. Natekako. Nagamba, when you people were getting tired of good, this. Over this, I think this one came first. You know, see a rude when you are nang. Max Jenga, Sigamba Kala, don't be biased. Now call a milk. Yes, you get proteins there and fats. Nagamba, glucose. So either he will get you here or there. One good thing about them is the packaging is good enough that even scattered outside in a heavy downpour, it will be saved from getting destroyed. I mean, the content inside. Simply when these commodities which are well packaged, yesterday we talked about the law of flotation. An object will float on water when it is less dense than water. They are floating. They have no power, capacity to sink. The maker of this gave it a brand, luxury. As if the business there is luxurious. Luxury. It is okay. Are we together? The brand is okay. Don't worry about the color after all. Is it important even if it was black? But the packaging. The packaging may not save it when there is a weather challenge which will affect it. Another one said, he's making something, same function, different brand and different packaging. He makes this one. He names it Go Soft, Don't Go Rough. There's no Don't Go Rough here, but I think it is the opposite. He said, don't use it for birthday party to decorate. He even put toilet paper. Meaning, please, if you're out of designs, items to decorate your party, don't use this. And added the 2-ply, 200, this is not important because you won't use them. But he used a packaging container, which I think will save it some time. It is the same as the other commodity, same function, but different package. Are we exhausted? We may have some, I think. I have requested that look at this. When it is removed from the external packaging container, it will not survive. But it will survive because he did this carefully. If you want the whole of this, and in the course of going you had no bag, and the heavy downpour comes, it may survive by the time you get there, and it will serve the function. After some time, look at this, friends. And if you wanted to share this, to go to the executive chambers of release, some of us will not use it. Elder Makanga will fear, no, it's not conducive. Elder Mangeni will, pastor will say, no, get me something better or dry. Because of the packaging. Look at its sister. You simply rinse, and you can take it back to the shop. Look at these others. The same story. You simply rinse, oil clean with a dry piece of cloth. And they regain the first shape, condition. This also. I want us to imagine others whose packaging container was not good enough to protect them and to save them from getting destroyed or spoiled. Unlike commodities, for us human beings, you can work upon your brand. I want to speak to people whose feelings are working. Unlike commodities, this biscuit will expire sometime. If the expiry date is written, like tomato sauce, even if it's supposed to expire on 17th of August, this week, Thursday or Friday. But today, 14th, you having read the expiry date and having ability to buy something which has months to come, weeks, you may not consume that commodity. It may have become slow poison. So unlike commodities, for us who are born bad, from Adam and Eve, we are not like an eagle or chicken. Even when she changes her diet, even when she removes her feather and wears the eagle's feather, she will never become an eagle. A human being born bad, simply by a statement. What did we discuss yesterday? What did we discuss? The paralyzed man, when he was lowered down where Jesus was, did Jesus ask him to explain? What did Jesus simply say? He simply said, Son of man, your sins are forgiven. As brief as that. That's what we discussed yesterday. We are human beings who are born bad. It is true. Even the songs in the song books, when we sing, we confirm our sinful nature. Chief of sinner thou art be, la 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 la. Emphasizing our situation. Chapter 12 of the first book of the Bible, Genesis, talks about the call of Abraham. The Abraham today we emphasize, we say, grandfather of all believers, all. What was his background? We are looking at the heading, simply saying, the yesterday experience. Abraham was a polytheist, a worship of many gods, small g, many. Asherah, Astarte, Chemosh, Sidon, Dagon, and others. Because he did not believe in the heavenly God, therefore you can say an atheist. Are we still together? That was him. Was God's choice so poor to bring such a man? Let's not discuss that. The universality of God saw a choice in a man who was a non-believer and a wealthy, influential man, and asked him to leave his native land. Let us take our minds to Busega. If you know Busega roundabout, and you happen to be standing there, and someone says who has authority over you that, now you can go. He just brought you from somewhere and placed you there. He tells you can go. Nansana is on Hoima Road. I will take the other northern bypass and go to Hoima Road in Nansana, where I'm used. Those of you who come from the western, you will take Masaka Road to Mbarara and I think there you can even reach Fort Port, not so? Somehow. Elder Makanga will come back to Natete, one, because he comes from Kampala. And Elder Mangeni, those who stay in Chireka, where they will come back this way. Abraham was told to leave. But I said he was an atheist, a polytheist. The Lord who can change the brand and the package, changed the man who was an atheist and a polytheist, and today we swear the grandfather of all believers. There is a man who disorganized his brand in the same lineage. The grandchild of Abraham. Who was he? Esau. We are supposed to be saying, Lord of Abraham, Isaac, and Esau. Not so? Yes. But simply because of the mere bean soup, the guy sold his rights to a little brother. A brother who had already planned to see how he gets there, but dubiously by a bad mother. We were supposed to be saying God of Abraham, Isaac, and Esau. Now we say Jacob. It is this Jacob who wrestled with the angel. In the process, when the fight was getting over, the angel asked, what is your name? Let us reason. Did this angel or Jesus know Jacob's name? Yes. Yes, he did. Why did he ask? I think he wanted him to tell the truth. He said, I am Jacob. He said, you are right. When God asks tonight, who are you? Or what are you? He asked in verse 9, chapter 3 of Genesis, where are you? I think it is the first question. Pastor KYAMBOGO, the omnipresent God. Did he have to ask where these people were? No. He used to come to the garden. But he asked. It was not a question of place. It wasn't. It was a question of extent of disobedience. If someone finds you urinating on a plate and asks, what are you doing? When the action is visible, he can see properly. For you to make the process clear, you are even naked. Not some skirts covering, no. And I see, Sister Harriet, what are you doing? He's not asking what you are doing. He's asking, how far have you gone in the extent of stupidity? So he was not checking for place. No. The God who can change the brand, the title, got Abraham there and put him to a place, a position we shall sing until we go to heaven. The guy wanted to cut someone's head. The guy was one of the students in the first university where Jesus was the lecturer, the dean, the warden also, yes, because he stayed with them, was the cook. Sometimes he served the food, yes. when he sent them for food. They brought it served. The registrar said, the secretary and the chancellor. One of his students, moreover the student who was in a right position, when he pulled out his bayonet and wanted to cut off the man's head, the intention was to cut off the head, not the ear. But somehow, as the other man tried to dodge or to escape, the ear never survived. And it fell down. Jesus, opposing the laws of health, he did not wash the ear first. He did not look at the target, picked it and placed it immediately. You being a chancellor or vice chancellor, would you continue him? Would you wait for the university body council to sit to dismiss the student? He would do it there and then, because he was the council himself. Are we together? Did he continue with this man? Yes. Who was he? Sanguine Peter. And when Jesus was ascending to heaven, this man who almost cut off someone's head, in other words, he would be a murderer, he was assigned the work of the bishop, this man, because him, our master, can change the title, can change the brand. While people are still criticizing you, yesterday we talked about negative criticism as one of the barriers, the roadblocks, the impediments. Jesus will not take too long a time to debate your background. 3 victims. I want to use the word victim. Himself in the middle on the cross. One man left, the other man right. One man was busy criticizing Jesus. You said you are great, you can do everything, save yourself. Another man simply said, well, for me, sincerely, honestly, I am a sinner. I am guilty. I am in the best place. But I pray and request that when you get your Father's place, please remember me. What did Jesus do? The course and the process of changing the title, the brand, does not take him a long time. He will not call for pages to discuss. He said, not then, now. Now. And the guy was granted salvation there and then. There may be some things which have not gone well in the process, in your past, in your yesterday. Speech, action, greed. Did I tell you about when the Muslims invited me for Eid? I bought a kanzu, Elder Makanga. Elder Mangena, I bought a kanzu. I don't know what's wrong with us. Human nature anyway is like that. I already put on a hat because of this problem here. But this time I put on a short one, white. I think it had lost the white color. Someone lent it to me. I went. It is here that, sir, I saw Elder, a very tricky Muslim Hajj. It was unfortunate. They served us on one big, large plate. 3 or 4 of us. I also sat there. They trained us to sit cross-legged. It's a thing I learned so easily and so fast. They served us on rice and the pieces of chicken and meat. I think the lady who served was not careful enough to distribute them. These pieces landed on one side. In the process of serving, it was covered when she brought. My side was empty, having only rice. Elder, it was disappointing. I am one who can buy even a cow. I don't know what went wrong this time. I'm speaking the truth. A Muslim friend, Hajj, a fat man, moreover, parking a very good car. There was nothing on his side. But he said he will not survive like that. He began. Jama, we were speaking Uganda. But Jama Mbabuli, Jama, may I tell you, Allah made this world round. Round, so round, and geographically we are told so. Round like this, turning the large plate, the pieces to come to his side. I was not close to him, I said, I am now finished. And he put mountains like, Lorenzo, he picked one piece and he placed it aside. Already beaten now. You must be too greedy to grab the same piece. Muhavura. And I said, if there are 4 pieces, and is now coming to the 3rd one, and the mountains are more than 4, you are aware, I am finished. I also thought immediately something I should do, not to go bare like that. I said, Jama, may I tell you, we are going to die in a very bad accident, but the driver negotiated and bargained and turned the fuso like this. The remaining 2 came to my side. And I said, and he pulled one lady who was going to be beaten by pressure, returning kindly. And I also got one eye. The other 2, who had nothing to concoct, to prepare, got us already prepared. Sometimes there are small things, but if someone was somewhere judging, he would judge someone with the title director of the school, turning the plate, deceiving people about a fuso, the one who can buy a full goat. Now, there are very many things which fail us, very many. Some children went to steal mangoes, a certain parish, Catholic parish. Near the parish, just after the fence immediately, was a cemetery where they bury those big people. So they agreed that one should climb and lower the mangoes, throw the mangoes, as the other would do, collect. The guy who climbed, it was coming too late in the evening. The guy who climbed spotted some 2 mangoes which were more beautiful, big in size and ripe enough, and threw them closer to the fence. Because of some sound, some noise, one father overheard that, what is happening? Moreover, in a dangerous place at the cemetery. No. He called others who were working the same parish to go and see. 3 of them came, 3 fathers, Catholic fathers, and stood by. It was now a little dark. The other one kept throwing the mangoes, as this one would collect, put in the same place. Apart from the special 2, which he threw near the fence, saying that in the course of dividing, if it will be even division, he will also take his special 2, where this one will not have a share. Even thieves are not fair. So he came down and said, we shall divide evenly. We all have contributed. In the process of division, the 2 fathers had come, did not know exactly what was going on. So they listened, in a distance, they listened to what was going on. And there was division whose sound was heard. 1 for you, 1 for me. 1 for you, 1 for me. They came closer to each other and said, this must be Jesus and Satan dividing these people we buried here. 1 for the other must have been holy. 1 for him must have been unholy. Must be Satan and Jesus. When they finished, I think the heap was okay. The number was even, not odd. So they got the same number or share. Of course, size does not matter now. It can never be the same size. The guy who had been left down collecting made a statement and said, because in the process, he had the 2 which were thrown near the fence. And it was closed where now the fathers came and stood. After dividing this, the boy who was collecting said, hey, how about those remaining 2 at the fence? But he wanted to mean the 2 mangoes. The fathers who did not know that there were some mangoes scattered there, thrown there, they imagined that Satan and Jesus dividing these people. They have not divided the two who are standing by. In the process of running, none of them went back to the parish. They said, if real, each one of them running, because salvation is a personal matter. Are we together? Each one ran afraid that he is sinful enough to be taken by Satan. If the two people dividing were Satan and Jesus, the other one ran also saying, me, I must underline and capital letters, be taken by Satan. The other one also, same story. He ran away to escape, only gathering strength later, tiptoed back into the parish and said, where are you taken? But of course, he cannot be taken when he has come back. You and me have got some nasty experience, background. The good news, as I conclude, is no matter the background of the sinner, there is a brighter future. One thing about our master, Jesus, the master of nature, is he will never ask you to explain your past. He knows it. Actually, more than you do, there are things you may have forgotten. In the course of your senior 2, 3, and 5, there are things you may have forgotten. There is some gossiping you have forgotten. There is some rumor mongering you have forgotten. There is some whatever you have forgotten. So many things. What is it that has been bothering you? We are looking at the yesterday experience. The Bible has a record of very many people, very many, who would not stand anywhere close. But when they met Jesus, when Jesus met them, he simply changed them without struggle, without hustle. I have deliberately left some moment for you to think. Is there something that has troubled you, bothered you? You cannot share to the person we even call close friend. It's my close friend. Sometimes we don't take care when we are giving titles to people. When you say someone best friend, when you put that best friend of yours aside and you ask him whether he's also your best friend, he may not say the same. Well, he's a friend. He says, I am his best friend. If they brought a man who is not married to act as a best man on your wedding, and shortly after, you're also going for wedding, and you are to choose a best man, sometimes you may not even put him among the first 10. This is the human nature. There are titles we immediately give, we easily give, sometimes not contemplating, not thinking about the quality of the person. Yesterday we talked about the friends. One of those things, those choices we must make. The other day on Sunday we said, on Sabbath we said, there are some 5 which deserve extra attention. We may make a choice on the hairstyle. You will cut it to 0. You will create a rod. You will make a whatever. Even on the dress code. Yes. Even on so many other things. But there are 5. I simply resound this to remind you. The choice on associates, call it friends. They have a lot they will mean about your experience, your progress. One thing about friends is when they don't add something positive to you, inevitably something negative will be brought to you. Inevitably. If I got a call here and I requested for permission and I went aside to say, Mr. Joseph Kony, give me some minutes to conclude here, then we shall talk. And you have overheard when I said Mr. Joseph Kony. There's only one Joseph Kony whom all of us know. The one who troubled the northern Uganda for so long. And I come here marvelous grace, who has just spoken to Mr. Joseph Kony after here we're going to meet at wherever the place and discuss. You do not regard me spiritually worth to stand here. The second, we said, choice on a career, the job, even the course you are going to do, you are doing. 3, we said, on faith. 4, health. 5, which appeared one of the most important, the choice of a partner. Those who have not chosen yet. It is something that one must keep praying to God for. It is not a thing, it is not a laboratory that after the experiment it will be done. After a few minutes or after a week. It is not a tour. At high school, you have been having matron, warden, deputy, doing this, don't do, coupling is wrong, and you're being caned. At university, it may not be. There is no warden who is waiting for us there. Not. The academic registrar who admitted you is not anywhere close to see whether you are within the campus. It is him whom you must ask to come to move closer with you, to guard you from all such troubles. Sometimes when we say we don't know the way, yesterday we said, he says, I am the way, the truth, and life. When we say it is impossible, what does he say? He replies, all things are possible. Luke chapter 18, verse 27. When we say we are tired, what does he say? He says, I will give you rest. Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. It is him that we must invite to change our brands, to remove the ugly, useless packaging, the container, which can easily get destroyed or spoiled, and to make us better. That even after the wave that we are going to experience at university, we shall remain Seventh-day Adventists. We shall remain people who others will come to consult, to ask you to pray for them. People who will never get lost in the course of the 3 years or 4 years or 5 years according to the course. May the Lord bless.
Big one. Amen. We thank God for using our elder to share us his word. This time we are going to have a closing hymn, Marvelous Grace.